Hello, this is Mrs. Clark. I want to talk to you a little bit about angle measurements and how to be precise with your angle measurements. So these are lined up correctly, which is great. So you can see that the protractor, the vertex is touching the circle, and then the bottom line here of this protractor is lined up with one of the rays of the angle. What we want to do is we want to zoom in here. And we want to look at where this line is really falling. And we can see that it's not quite on 140, but it's pretty close, right? Is it less or more than 140? So let's take a look. Look over here. We started on the right-hand side because this is where that first ray is. And then we kind of, we use the inner track and we go up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And so when you get around here to this point, we are just before 140, and there aren't tiny tick marks down here, but there are up here, but we can see we're maybe one before 140. So if this is 130 and that's 135, this is probably 139. So close to 140. I know it might not be perfect, but we want to notice if it doesn't hit right on, then what can we say? So here's another example. This one looks like it might be close to 100, but it's actually a little bit off of 100. So let's go ahead and zoom in and take a look. So this is lined up correctly. I actually might scooch it just a tiny bit there. Oh, wrong way. And you can see that we have the protractor with the circle on the vertex, and then this line is lined up, which is great. So this one opened from the left because our ray over here is on the left. So we start over here. So we're starting with the 0, which means we're using the outer track. And we're counting up, up, up. And you can see that we get to 90. And then we don't get quite to 100. Now, each of these tiny little marks in here is worth 1. So we want to count those and see where this line ends up. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. It's kind of a thick line. So this one looks like it's either 95 or 96. So we can see that it's not quite at 100. So we want to try when we're measuring our angles to be precise. I know it's not perfect, especially if you're looking at a protractor on a computer or a Chromebook. It's not necessarily perfect, but we do want to notice, right? Ooh, look at that one. That one's a little bit after 130, right? So this one's 131, 132, or 133. So I would call this one 132 or 133. And we notice sometimes not every angle hits right at 5 or 10. And ooh, look at this one. So this one's, I'll scooch this over a tiny bit there. So this one starts at 0, and then we're counting up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Looks like this one might be 55 or 54. Yeah. So that is one way to be a little more precise when measuring angles.